Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today as always, many things to say, always delivering updates to you. Also today, many things to clarify on Cuti, Romero, on Diomandé, on Zinedine Zidane, Tony Rudiger. Let's jump into it together. Here we are guys, always with the latest, always with the updates because it's international break, but there is always something to say on the market, there is always something to clarify, something to answer about, so several things. I wanted to start today's video guys by mentioning El Cuti Romero. I wanted to mention El Cuti Romero, why? Because if you are following the channel, a few weeks ago, I think it was already February, when I told you Cuti Romero has serious chances to leave Tottenham at the end of the season, despite signing a new contract at Tottenham in December 2025, Cuti Romero is gonna assess his options ahead of the summer transfer window. Of course, now Cuti Romero is Tottenham captain, and so is fully involved in this battle to keep Tottenham in the Premier League to avoid relegation. So Cuti is fully focused on that. Last weekend before the Nottingham Forest game, he also sent a message to the fans. So Cuti Romero is fully focused on that. But on the other side, if you ask me, can Cuti Romero leave Tottenham in the summer? My answer is yes. It's a possibility. It's not guaranteed, but it's a possibility because several top clubs have started calling for Cuti Romero. Atletico Madrid wanted him last summer and he's always been considered a super appreciated player internally. There are more clubs around Europe, and not only Europe, interested in Cuti Romero, so top clubs are already aware of this possibility. Then, on Cuti Romero, today, in the last 24 hours, I received tons of questions about one of the reports regarding the Argentinian defender, and so a special release clause into his contract at Tottenham. According to reports, there is a clause to let Cuti Romero go to Real Madrid, Barcelona or Atletico Madrid for 60 million euros. This is what's been reported in the last 24 hours. I was checking this information, guys, and with maximum respect, as always, you know, I'm not coming here and saying I am the one who has the truth in his hands. But my information is that Cuti Romero contract does not include any sort of release clause. So there is nothing in paper guaranteed about Cuti Romero exit clause. What happened is that during the negotiation in summer 2025, in the conversations between Cuti Romero and Tottenham to extend the contract, it was discussed something like a gentleman agreement. If a top club from Spain, not from England, from Spain arrives with a good amount of money, but was not specified about 60 million euros from what I'm told. So a realistic good amount of money, Tottenham could have considered the possibility to let Cuti go. This was a verbal gentleman agreement, but don't forget that at that time there was Daniel Levy at the club, and today Daniel Levy is no longer at Tottenham. So it's a completely different situation. But also there is nothing in paper, there is nothing in text. So that's why, at the moment, Cuti Romero can leave. Yes. Is there a release clause? According to my information, no. Just a gentleman agreement, but with the previous chairman. Then, guys, more I wanted to mention to you today is regarding Zinedine Zidane. Because over the recent days, I keep receiving many questions on Zidane. I keep receiving, you send me on all platforms, many reports on Zinedine Zidane's future. First of all, guys, Zinedine Zidane never took into consideration the possibility to become a manager in the Premier League. In the recent years, he had several possibilities, even to have meetings. I'm not even talking about, okay, deal agreed, deal done, Zidane to, I don't know, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, whatever. That was never the case, because Zinedine Zidane was not keen on having this opportunity. Zinedine Zidane had a completely different view of his career, wanted to wait after Real Madrid job for a different kind of opportunity, and now my understanding is that Zinedine Zidane already, I told you several times, if you are following the channel, I think it's been already in October, November, December, several times, Zinedine Zidane has a verbal agreement in place with the French Federation to become the next head coach of the French national team after the World Cup, after Didier Deschamps. Didier Deschamps deserves the maximum respect. There is a World Cup incoming in less than 3 months. So everyone at the federation, and Zinedine Zidane himself, who is a super respectful person, they don't want to announce or commit to anything at this point. But in terms of gentleman agreement, And verbal agreement, I can tell you that Zinedine Zidane is already preparing his future as France national team head coach. So this would be the view. This would be the plan for Zinedine Zidane. Then it's always about signing contracts. We know that in football you can have gentleman agreements, but then you have to sign. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. So it's important to say this. It's not something signed or something agreed, but Zinedine Zidane is preparing his comeback and is going to be with the French national team if all goes to plan. Now, time to focus on the World Cup with Didier Deschamps, who is a World Cup winner already a few years ago with the French national team, so deserves the maximum respect. And then, guys, I wanted to mention another story. And it's the one regarding the situation of Yann Diomandé. Many questions on Yann Diomandé. What's going to happen with Yann Diomandé? What's going on with Yann Diomandé? Fantastic winger. He signed with Rock Nation Sports as new agency in January, so preparing already for a potential summer move. In January, for example, there were Tottenham prepared to spend a big amount of money on Yann Diomandé, but it was impossible to convince Leipzig because the player was not for sale in January. Man United have sent their scouts several times to follow Yann Diomandé. You probably remember that in January, Man United wanted to sign Semenyo, then the player decided to go to Man City, and among wingers scouted and followed by Manchester United, there was, for sure, and there is still, Yann Diomandé. Man United can add a winger to their squad in the summer, and Yann Diomandé is super appreciated. Liverpool are also still tracking the player. Liverpool are keeping close eye on Yann Diomandé. Then, Liverpool are yet to decide who is the winger, or it could be two, in the summer transfer window that they want to add to the squad. Mo Salah is leaving the club, but for sure, Yann Diomandé is being monitored by Liverpool. He's a player they are following, he's a player they like. Then there are points to clarify, for example, the price. All these clubs are yet to receive an indication from Red Bull Leipzig about the price. We know Leipzig are very good with strategies when it's about the asking price. Several clubs involved for the same player. We saw what happened last summer with Xavi Simons till the end. We saw what happened last summer with Benjamin Sesko, with Newcastle and Man United. Also Arsenal involved at the beginning of the window. So Leipzig know how to manage this situation with many top clubs interested in one single player. For Yann Diomandé, there is still no indication of the price. It's expected to be a big transfer fee, especially because the player is doing very, very well and has big potential. Liverpool are interested, for sure. Liverpool are tracking the player. Manchester United remain interested in the boy. There are more clubs following him, including, for example, from what I'm told, also Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern. So it's not only Premier League. Also Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern have made their checks on this player. So it's a very open race. I would not underestimate also Bayern and PSG, because if they decide to go all in, are two clubs who can be really powerful in a race with Premier League clubs. So it's going to be a big race, but for sure a top talent to watch in this window. And so guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories. Cuti, Romero in this future, what do you expect? And then Yann Diomandé, where should he go next? And then Zinedine Zidane, what do you think about this future? Let me know your opinion, guys, here in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon.